And I'm sitting in my own office in 3 inches of water going.
Ooh,
And we
not good.
do mitigation as well. So we had all the equipment, thankfully, to get in there right away and do it.
You're listening to Building Dallas by Arrington Roofing.
But after our flood, things had all dried out. We dried everything out. We had all the fans going and everything for days. You know, you can't answer the phone because the fans are going. It's like, yeah. It's such an inconvenience at that point because you're ready to be done. You're ready to be back to your normal life. So I pulled this giant metal cabinet away from the wall, and the wall is covered in mold.
From sunrise commutes to stormy nights, from tough builds to big ideas, we're shaping the future of North Texas, one story at a time. Welcome to Building Dallas.
Roofing isn't just a business, it's legacy. It's leadership, and sometimes it's family. On this episode of Building Dallas, I sit down with Jeannie Boyd Curtis, President and CEO of Boyd Bone Dry Roofing. Jeannie grew up in the business and now leads one of the most respected commercial roofing firms in North Texas. From navigating industry change to staying grounded in service, we talk about the changes of being a woman in a male-dominated trade, the importance of collaboration, even among competitors, and what it takes to build a company that only lasts but uplifts the community. Whether you're a homeowner, builder, or fellow roofer, this conversation is for anyone who believes in building with integrity. I like that. That's why we have Jeannie here, because she's full of integrity. We're going to talk about integrity. Jeannie!
Hi, Chris. Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good.
Thank you so much for having me out on your show today.
Yep.
I'm thrilled. I'm excited. One of the things that I'm passionate about is visiting other roofing companies.
Yeah.
I'm a student in the Future Executive Institute, which is a class through NRCA.
Really?
And there's 40 students in my classroom. And one of the things I love about it is, again, kind of what you mentioned in your intro, is having people that might be competition, but you get the opportunity to go out and visit their shops. And I don't get a lot of that here in Dallas, but like I went up to Nashville to visit my friend Kathleen at Maxwell Roofing. She's third generation as well. And I absolutely loved it. Just like I loved walking in your door, first of all, seeing your RCAT license stamp.
Yay.
Walking in the door, and then just that welcoming feeling. And right away, I knew it was when I said, "Can I take a picture?" Because so many people would be like, "I wish you wouldn't." You know, when you go to plants like where they're manufacturing stuff, like don't take photos, we don't want it posted. Yeah. But I loved your openness and just the way you were like, "Here it is, and this is us, and this is me, and take a picture, use my ideas." Because that's how we build and grow one another. Yeah. And I think that's kind of what we're talking about today.
And yeah, it is. And a big reason we're having Jeannie here is because she's a president, not only CEO of Boyd Roofing, but president of RCAT, which is the Roofing Contractors Association of Texas. But Jeannie's here because she's a president of RCAT this year. And so she's, I love your opening there because that's what you're about, I think, is about sharing. And because I've talked to some other roofers, because I kind of got into the game late. I was really competitive, and I didn't want to share. You know, I didn't want anybody to see all the great stuff I'm doing, not realizing all my stuff maybe wasn't all that great. Maybe I needed to learn something. You know, should have learned that a long time ago. But really, the last three or 4 years, I got real involved in the NTRCA. Okay. And it has been awesome. And I've talked with some other roofers here locally about sharing and coming over to each other's place. So yeah, I'm glad if we're supporting that, guys. If you're out there, if you're a roofer and you're in North Texas, you need to be a member of RCAT. You need to be a member of NTRCA. And Midwest Roofing is trying to make a presence here too. I know sometimes you can't spread, you know, ends up costing a lot for.
I'm a member of NRCA, the National
and NRCA,
the National Roofing Contractors Association. I'm a member of Western States, Western States RCA. They are obviously typically Western States, but Texas actually is part of Western States. And if you think about El Paso and that area out there, then I'm also MRCA, which is the Midwest, and then RCAT and North Texas. And in fact, my dad is a past president of NTRCA.
Okay.
Yes. So
All right, beat that.
no,
Yeah. Okay, that's a lot.
but it's how you network, how you work with others,
Yeah.
and you figure out right away who in the industry is welcome and open and wants to grow other people.
Yeah.
And that's what we're about, what we need to be more about.
And and that goes right into that you're a family business. And we're talking about this right when you came in. Chase had some comments about some things about roll-ups and stuff. And you were like, man, I want to keep Boyd Roofing in the family forever and ever and ever. So just talk to our audience a little bit about, because we've had some other guests on that are in family businesses, and they talk about the benefits and the tough part about growing up in a family business. It's not all fun. I mean, there's some challenges. Tell us just about your growing up, because it was your grandfather.
So
That started the
if you went back generations, I know I would at least be a fourth generation, maybe even a fifth generation contractor.
Wow.
Like my great granddaddy had a foundation business in the Anson Abilene area.
Okay.
So we've got construction roots going way back. But my granddaddy had a lumber yard in Anson, Texas, which is right on the other side of Abilene. And even as little bitty girl, he made me, didn't make me, well, he did. He made me work there.
Yeah, but you probably had fun at that age. You're little.
At that age, sorting nails. Because it was a true old-fashioned lumber yard, sorting nails. I mean, we're talking, and I would answer phones, and take the phone calls, and then you'd take the little piece of paper and you'd stick it on what would be used as a murder weapon these days. One of those big,
Oh yeah.
you pop the thing down, and he'd come back and read his messages. And so I grew up in the lumber yard, and then in 1974 is when a series of tornadoes came through Kentucky, and so my granddaddy, my uncle, and an engineer got together and they formed Boyd Incorporated. And it was Boyd Incorporated of Kentucky, and they worked those storms from Kentucky and Indiana. My dad, Gary Don Boyd, went to work for them, and because he, of course, worked for my granddaddy all his life.
So was he a teenager or young man?
He was out of college.
Okay.
My dad went to Golden Gate Seminary. He was going to be a minister for a while. We've got deep religious roots as well. And so he'd gone to Golden Gate, come back. He's like, okay, I don't think this is for me. And went back into construction with my granddaddy.
Mm-hmm.
And so he first bought part of the third of a share from the engineer, and then later bought out my uncle. And of course, my granddaddy held out till it was worth more than he could afford. And finally, he bought it out for my granddaddy. And by then we were working in Texas as well. We were working Texas, Kentucky, and throughout that area. We're licensed in Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Texas. And so came back here and just planted deep roots in the Mansfield, Texas area.
Got it.
And so to this day, we're located in Mansfield, Texas.
Yeah.
But construction was the dinner table conversation. My dad is passionate about God, family, construction.
Yeah.
Those are his three
That
things.
sounds fun to me.
Those are
I showed you the stuff that I built around here. I love building stuff.
Yeah. So when I was in college, he did a lot of work adjusting claims. And so he was like, Jeannie, I need you to go get your adjuster's license so you can work for me as well, because this is good money and you won't be stuck working while you're in college because you can work in the summer times.
Right.
So I started doing that. So if you remember, and lots of people don't because I realize how old I am when I said Mayfest, the giant hail we got in Fort Worth.
95.
95, see? In 95. Yeah, it was crazy.
Mm.
But I was adjusting those claims with my dad. And at the same time, I was getting my degree at the University of Texas at Arlington, get this, in education.
Okay.
I really wanted to be in broadcasting, but UTA canceled that program, but that's a whole nother story.
Okay.
But I was getting
But you're doing good in broadcasting here, so way to go.
I love this, but I love people, and I think that's why.
Yeah.
If you just put me on there and ask me to do the weather, I'd be like, this feels a little fake. But this feels real and genuine to me, and that's what I love about it. But anyway, so back in college, did that, adjusted a little bit, and my dad never really said, you have to go to work at Boyd Incorporated. He never forced me to do it, never made me do it. I mean, granted, at 13, I was cleaning the men's restrooms.
Yeah.
Wasn't pretty.
Right.
But
yeah.
never really forced it. So I went into education. I taught for a few years. You may or may not be able to tell from my personality. I'm a little OCD and I like some power. And so I was like, taught for a while. And then I was like, I need to get my master's in mid-management. So I went off to do that so that I could be a school principal. So I have over 20 years in education, most of which is at a school principal level. And I always told my teachers, when what you're doing is no longer fun, quit doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And it just reached a point with STAR testing and everything else that it was no longer fun. And my dad was like, we have a roofing company. You have a family legacy. I was like, this is where I want to come back to. I want to come back to my roots. I want to come back to what I grew up in. I want to come back to working those storms. And it was so hard to transition from education to roofing again, because in education, you feel like every day you're valuable. You feel like every day you're providing for people. It's a very service-oriented stewardship job. And I remember my dad brought me up on a roof and I was struggling with this interpersonal, how do I feel good about myself again in roofing? Because when you're a principal, you walk in a room, people are like, she's the principal. And when you're in roofing, I was walking and going, I'm a roofer.
My dad was a principal.
Oh, well, yeah.
I understand. Yeah. I'm a principal's kid.
You get it. You're like, oh, you're the principal's kid. Wow.
We would be out at the mall and the kids would see him and be like, what's Mr. Arrington doing out of the building? They thought he just lived there.
Yes, and I'm not.
And you're supposed to be there.
I'm not walking into malls and people are like, you put my roof on. It's like, I miss that. I miss that. But my dad brought me up on a roof and we sat on the roof and he said, do you know the most important part of this roof system? And I was like, is it like the underlayment, like the TPO, the membrane? What? He said, Jeannie, the most important part of this roof system is the people underneath it.
Oh my gosh. I love that because I like to preach that. It's like, who did it? The stuff is the stuff. It's who put it on.
Yes. It's like you're protecting all these people underneath this roof. So get this out of your head that you're not in a service industry, because that's all that roofing and construction is service work. Yeah. And from then on, I was like,
I love that because I think it is all about the people.
Yeah.
So in your family, and you've talked about your dad, was he the major influence in your life? And was there anybody else that you go, either because I'm in this business or I'm in this business because this person really spent time with me. They really helped me be who I am, or, was there when I needed them.
Wow. There have just been so many people in this industry that have been with me. I mean, I'm just thinking about the past year. I don't know. Do you know Dan Pitts?
Yes.
At Pitts Roofing. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's just been pivotal in my life as somebody he's an encourager. He's a supporter. He's somebody I can call, or more, he'll see something and he calls me and just like, hey, this might be on your mind this week, or you might be thinking of this. He's been wonderful. The women in the industry have been fantastic. Your past president, Holly Green, has been fantastic. Tina Hall has been wonderful. And
I've really enjoyed getting to know Tina.
Oh,
yeah, she's
wonderful.
Yeah.
And I've roots with Joe Hall. Like our kids all went to school together. Tina and Brett's kids went to school at the same place that my kids went to school for a little bit. And so kind of knew them from that system. And it's just crazy. My dad actually started out working with Ronnie and Sandra McLaughlin early on.
Empire Roofing.
At Empire Roofing. And so I remember them coming over to my house. Now we're talking, that was back in the day when we were selling Amway too.
Okay.
A long time ago. But there are so many people in the industry that have grown one another, that have been there. And again, through my FEI group with Future Executive Institute, everyone, I have 40 classmates and peers that I could call on at any time to say, what is this? What am I looking at? Send a picture. I'm not familiar with this system. Anybody know what this kind of roof this is? Those type of people that I can call on. And of course, my relationship with God, my 2 boys. I mean,
yeah,
it's just been, I guess I should mention my husband.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you talk about family businesses, up until a month ago, we were my dad, my mom, my husband, my ex-husband. He just left our company to do other things. But we were it's my husband's best friend. And then I brought my secretary from when I was a principal. And so she's with me now. So she's nearly been with me for 20 years of my life.
Wow.
And they've all just been so supportive and encouraging
Yeah.
to help us grow and just work together and learn. But I love to learn. I'm a lifetime learner.
Well, and so one of the things you mentioned was what I've heard a lot about that I don't know as much about is the women in roofing group, and maybe just touch on that a little bit, because I have actually got a woman that I'm hiring to be in sales, and I have had 2 other women in the past, but this is a very male dominated industry, and that you're 3rd, 4th, whatever generation, and CEO and president of RCAT there is an incredible opportunity for women in this industry that I think what's going to come out in this episode, if there's anything else that maybe is more than that, this is going to be one of the top things, is that I think we can encourage women to get in this industry. And it's not only one of the most male dominated of the trades, it's really male dominated because it's hard, hot, dirty, unappreciated a lot of times, because, I have to tell a lot of my guys that come in, when they're going to work on a flat roof, listen, nobody even knows it's there. I mean, they know it's there when it's raining and it's not pouring in their house or their building, but you can't see it. Flat roofs are harder than anything because the water stays up there. It's like building a pool on top of your building. We get into the architecture part of it. But it's critical. And I hear nothing but great things about women in roofing. Tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing and what you're encouraging women to do.
One of the memberships I forgot to mention earlier. Because
no, you mentioned it. You mentioned it real quick, but
okay.
Yeah.
I am a member of National Women in Roofing. I attend the events and I love their networking. I encourage any woman to become a member of NWIR. It's a fantastic organization that supports women in the industry. And again, you can come together to collaborate, and you don't feel, especially if you're, I was really blessed. I was really blessed. My father never, and this sounds so weird, and I don't know how to explain it to you, Chris. My father never told me I was a girl. And I don't mean that like in the world.
Oh, I know. I understand.
He never put that limitation on me that, Jeannie, you're entering a male-dominated world, and this is going to be unusual for men to accept. Like, that wasn't, he never told me that. I learned that the hard way. I learned that the hard way by walking in a room and going, why are people looking at me strange? Like, is there something in my hair? Do I have something in my teeth? What's going on here?
Notice that you had the best hair. We're all going, well, I wish I had some more of that.
Like, what is happening here? Why is this unusual? Because I wasn't raised that way. As you can imagine, my mother is a powerful, independent.
Because she was, you mentioned she was in the business.
She worked with my dad side by side. My dad kind of did the outside stuff. She kind of did the inside stuff when they were building and growing. And so I wasn't ever raised in any other way but to believe I'm a force.
Yeah.
I'm an independent, amazing force. I was beautifully and wonderfully made. And so I didn't know that I should be, and you shouldn't be, ladies, you should not be. I didn't know that there was an expectation of, oh, I'm not as good of a man, or I'm different than a man. I wasn't, I installed my first roof in my teen years. And so it wasn't a thing of this is unusual or this is strange for me. So I think if you grew up in a different environment where maybe you're coming from an industry where you didn't achieve more because you're a woman, or the men made more than you, especially corporate world type things, where there's still that inequality there. I think if you're coming from that, it's so important to connect with other women through NWIR.
Yeah.
Because you want to make those connections, because those are people that you are familiar with and you identify with. it's a tough business and a tough industry. But if you
Mhm.
have those people, if you have your Tina Halls, your Holly Greens, your Maggie mentors, Maggie's over at IB now, but if you find those women that you connect with, Carolyn Coleman, oh my gosh, at Tice Enterprises, talk about a class act.
Yeah.
Find those women that you connect with and build and grow together.
Okay. And so you had a big benefit in that you started really young,
Yes.
really young, and it's in the family business. So women that are maybe coming from a different industry that don't have the experience, they're starting a little bit older. What would be your advice for them on getting into the industry and learning, really starting to learn at a later time?
I would say roll your shoulders back, hold your head up high, be the queen that you are,
Mm-hmm.
and learn. And I would start.
Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Don't be afraid to ask questions, but I would start at the bare bones because I go to plant tours. I cannot think of a manufacturer that will not say, I'd love to have you come to my plant and see how we're doing things. I go up there, I can't think where they're at, GAF, their new one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Gainesville?
Gainesville.
Yeah.
They open their doors to plant tours all the
Yeah.
time. You learn so much from a plant
Right.
tour, whether it's you're going to concrete tiles, whether it's how shingles are manufactured, whatever it is. Learn how things are manufactured. So start with the basics. How are they manufactured? Then go out there and attend these classes that are hands-on on actually building a roof system.
Right.
How are roof systems developed? What should it look like? How do you flash a pitch pocket? All of that. Does a TPO come up and over the parapet wall? Does it not? Learn those things because you just want to know everything you possibly can. And then find people like yourself. Find the Dan Pitts of the world, the Dave Custables of the world. Find those people, the Gary Don Boyds of the world. Golly, except have like an hour because that man is so passionate. He will not be quiet. But he loves to teach and loves to talk and loves to tell people about this industry and what he loves about it. But call and ask questions and find your people that are safe environments to say, I don't know what this is. Tell me. And they're not the people that are going to go, Jeannie was on that roof and she didn't know what she was looking at.
Yeah. Well, and I'm going to add this too, because we're working with a couple of organizations that work with high school kids on training them in trades, because we're not doing that anymore. I took wood shop and metal shop in high school,
Yes.
and now they don't have that anymore. And so, so I would say for anybody to ask the questions, because woman or man, nobody is learning the trades right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say to everyone out there, you've got to ask questions, because you didn't get, I know, I hear your story. Growing up, my dad painted the house when it needed to be painted. He put the concrete down the sidewalks. I don't think he roofed the house, but he fixed stuff. And our dads don't do that anymore.
No.
I mean, nobody does anything. Everybody has to pay for it. And then as an encouragement for, having a career, it's not cheap to get a trade to your house or your building anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting, because I know what I've got to pay to keep guys that are really good, and they're making good money. It's for all you guys out there with college degrees that are beating each other up for the same job. Man, come over into the trades, and we got a big pool.
We have a big pool. There's a lot of roofs. There's a lot of buildings. There's a lot of things going on in our industry. But trade schools are fantastic.
Yeah.
And more roofing companies need to partner with trade schools, because those are people, when they come out, they're going to need the jobs.
Yes.
And if you have a roofing company, offer up internships.
Mm-hmm.
Offer up those internships to let people come learn with you. And and then you keep them.
Yeah.
I mean, you keep them down the road.
Yeah.
Just like in education, you can find schools that will pay for you to get your master's degree, but you sign a contract that says, but I agree after I have my master's to work for you for 3 years or to work for you for 2 years, whatever it is. So you get that internship and say, look, I'm going to teach you and open up my books and show you how I do things and how things are grown here. But in return for it, when you graduate, assuming everything is kosher with one another, I would like you to stay for X number of years.
Mhm.
And they sign off. Who wouldn't love that?
Yeah.
I just,
Right.
Yeah.
And, and this is building Dallas
Mhm.
and North Texas. I mean, there's more than just Dallas, but I mean, that's where as people that we live in a built environment, and the roof is what covers it. Going back to what your dad said about, gosh,
People mad.
that almost brings tears to my eyes when you think about, we talk about this in our industry a lot. We're protecting everything. It's it can be a part of a sales pitch. It can get old, and if you do it so much, and we're protecting everything you own, but we're really protecting everything you own, not just your TV and your stereo and your favorite couch or whatever, but your kids and your dogs and your everybody that's living inside your home. We've just been certified in fortified, which is another thing. I don't know if we'll have time to get into that today, but it's just a better way to put your roof on just in case we get big wind and it blows everything off, to keep all that rain and debris from coming in your home. And if anybody's had a leak, Jeannie, you've probably done this. I get a call from someone who's got a leak, and I'll run over there and I'm like, okay, what is it? And they'll go, see that right there? And you go, where? And there's a little, man, people do not like leaks. There's a little stain on their ceiling. I'm going, okay, I think you're gonna be okay, but let me go take a look at it. Like, nothing is falling in. But if you've ever been to a property that got bad damage from rain, it's like that, and everything's ruined.
Nothing is as intrusive as water.
Ugh.
My goodness. It's devastating. It's
Yeah.
devastating because it ruins everything. Even when you mitigate it to the best you can and you bring people in and you suck up all that water and you try to get it out, then you've got that smell and it's in your nose and you're like, is it still there? Is it just in my nasal cavities? I can't tell anymore. And I speak from this personally because we had at our office, we had a building come in behind us and they didn't grade it right. And so every time it rained, it was flooding our office. And then a heavy storm came in a few years back, and I'm sitting in my own office in 3 inches of water going.
Ooh,
And we
not good.
do mitigation as well. So we had all the equipment, thankfully, to get in there right away and do it. But it's interesting to really see for yourself. And I just know how devastated I was. I still have little gnat traps in my office because I know they're in my carpet. And it may be in my head. Like, I want to scratch my hair just thinking about those. But it's such an intrusive thing.
Yeah.
When you have water. And in your home, in your business, whatever it is, it's devastating to you.
Well, I've heard so many people say, yeah, Chris, I don't want my ceiling to cave in. It's so you don't even know in their mind when the sheetrock falls in, I think some people think the house is going to collapse on them. I mean, they're living with mortal fear that they're
Yes.
getting ready to die under this, and I have to go, okay, the structure is going to be fine.
Right.
That's just cover, and kind of breathe. It's going to be okay. You're going to live.
But, as you're coming from the aspect of, so much about construction, but we're talking about homeowners and building owners that don't.
No.
And so it's a fair fear. And what they need is just ethical, moral contractors and honest ones that come out and say, it's okay. This
Yeah.
is going to be okay.
Yeah.
And we can fix this and make this right for you.
Okay. So for building Dallas and for Boyd Roofing and construction, or
So we're
you said
a
you do mitigation.
general construction company that specializes in commercial roofing.
Okay.
We have a small mitigation area. I mean, if people needed it, but there are so many good people. I'm one of those people that stay in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about learning that you do residential, because people call me for residential, and there's nothing better to me than having people on my list. I send a list and I say, please let this person know that I recommended you. However, I'm not getting a cut back from this. You need to know that. I'm going to give you the job, but I know because they're going to call and say, hey, Jeannie said you're a great residential roofer. Could you come out and look at this? You're going to say, not to the guy that just started that doesn't know what he's doing. You're going to say to your best guy, you're on this. Don't pass this down. Don't delegate it. You go take care of her.
Yeah.
And you'll take care of the people that I recommend. But I love finding other residential roofers because when people call me, I want to have somebody to give the work to that I value and trust to do this for the friend and family because I really don't touch residential. So my point to that is I stay in my wheelhouse. General contractor, we specialize in commercial roofing and waterproofing.
Yeah.
But
So
explain
that for everybody. So tell us, what do you do? What is your day in and day out?
My day, I primarily focus on TPO, EPDM, PVC, built up, and any single ply.
It's all still running kettles?
We have a kettle. We
Okay.
have a kettle.
Guys, just to pause for a second, kettle, that's an old thing. I mean, they're still around and people are still doing it, but it's an older technology that was the giant at one time, and now single ply has taken over. But
we have a
still
kettle.
has a place.
We used to have like 4. We've slowly sold them to Western Colloid, which is right down the street from us. I refuse to get rid of my last kettle. I'm not selling it. In fact, I made a LinkedIn post once about what could I repurpose this as?
Oh my gosh.
And I got lots of like aquarium, giant smoker. I
love it.
I don't know what it's filled right now. So I don't know what it would take to heat up and how long, who knows, but it's part of the legacy. So I won't get rid of it.
No, that was roofing. It was, gosh. And boy, talk about dangerous.
Yeah. Back to your question. So general construction, we could do it all. We could do bottom to top. We're licensed for that. But my target is commercial roofing. In addition to that, we have a small consulting division. And on that side, we do everything. So we can consult, which is why we have mitigation, because it's hard. You don't want to consult on something you don't do.
Okay. Explain mitigation.
So water mitigation, any type of, if you have fire mitigation, what you need to do to restore a person to a functioning level before a claim could be resolved.
And the importance of that is that it's like with a fire, it's not just what burns, it's what the smoke does and the smell and the fire can damage to a point of replacement or repair. And I know it has to do with insurance. So you got to know where that line is. And then like you're saying with the water, I think you explained it pretty well. Even gnats and stuff. The water is, gosh, keeping all the little bugs from growing and
festering,
mold,
all of it,
and that kind of stuff. And really, I mean, and I'll just say this for our audience's sake, that with water, when you think, well, God, why did they cut all that out? You'd be surprised. I mean, you'd be surprised at where the water goes to and what you really have to get rid of to get rid of all the moisture.
You do. It takes a lot, but also it's putting people at ease. I'll give you a great example of this. After we had our flood, I have a giant metal cabinet in my office that holds T-shirts and things like that. But after our flood, things had all dried out. We dried everything out. We had all the fans going and everything for days. You can't answer the phone because the fans are going. It's like,
yeah.
It's such an inconvenience at that point because you're ready to be done. You're ready to be back to your normal life. But I was cleaning and reorganizing my office because I have to move things around all the time to feel good about myself. I'm a very organized person.
Nesting, is that?
I'm nesting. So I pulled this giant metal cabinet away from the wall, and the wall is covered in mold. Covered.
Oh, yeah.
So, but it's knowing the people to call. So again, I've got a mold specialist in our office. And so he's like putting my mind at ease going, Jeannie, that is not bad mold. Watch this. And he takes a Lysol wipe and he wipes the mold right off the pane of my wall. And it's all normal. It's all fine again.
Yeah.
What had happened is the metal of the cabinet had water condensate between the two, and it had sat there. And because I hadn't pulled that cabinet away because
Yeah.
Wasn't even
Mhm.
thinking about it.
I can see it.
But it was a mold that could easily come off. And so there's some mold that can easily be handled with some bleach and some water. There's some that can't. There's some that you want to make sure is completely gone and out forever. But
Yeah, and the bottom line to this part is you don't want a guy who kind of does it. You want somebody who's done this and has got a lot of experience with it, especially with fire and especially with water. Yeah, because
exactly.
you got to go all the way.
You do. And so and again, adding to talking about, building Dallas, know who your specialists are in that are trustworthy, that can call, that can go out to people and help and assist, because you want somebody that can put a homeowner or a building owner at ease to say, this mold's okay, that mold's not.
Yes, right. And there's a difference.
Yes.
Okay, so on RCAT,
Yes.
tell us what's going on with RCAT. What is RCAT trying? I mean, the big thing is trying to get licensing, and I think I talked about this on an earlier episode, but in the great state of Texas, of all the roofers that we have here, you don't have to have a license.
Right.
And I tell people that all the time, and I'm sure they Google me when I leave, and they go, "Well, that can't be right," but it's right, because I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago, when Paul Ramon was president of NTRCA,
Yes.
and we went down to Austin and really tried to help get that pushed through, and at least we got wording in there for covering deductibles, but
Right.
we didn't make any progress on licensing.
Right.
So
well,
you can start with that one, and then anything else you've got going on. But I mean, that is, for me, that's the big one, because like I said, I came from the architecture field, which is highly licensed. I mean, I had to go to school for 5 years, and then you have to apprentice for 3 years, and you have to take a test, and it's a 3-day test. I mean, it's very, very much, it is a profession. And even though we're in a trade, we're building the things that the architects are designing. Well, it better be built right.
Right.
So.
Right. And that's a new construction. In re-roofing, there's nobody there to watch you. There's nobody there to supervise. When you've got new construction, you've got so many people there that are supervising, they're out there. You've got architects and engineers trying to make sure this was all done according to specs and according to plans. But in re-roofing, there's nobody watching.
I hate to say this, Jeannie.
Oh, go ahead.
But it's the first time I thought about it that way, because I go, well, no, we're watching, but nobody's watching us.
Yeah.
Because we're it. And it's like, there's not a GC. There's not, the homeowner's watching, just going, I don't know what they're doing. The building owner doesn't know. Because that's what you see it too. We get calls back from people that we didn't get the job, so we're too expensive. And they go, but can you come back and look at it? I don't think these guys did it right.
Right.
And then you have to go say, no, they didn't. And you have to tell them what they got to do to fix it.
We're one of the only industries I know that this is the Wild West, because there's zero regulation on us right now.
Yeah.
And I get it. I get that nobody wants regulation. We don't want tougher rules.
You don't even have to get permits in some cities.
There's nothing. There's nothing, which is why you have your storm chasers and your chuck in the trucks that come through. And the sad thing is, especially when it comes to residential, they're cheating homeowners. They're cheating homeowners. And as long as this continues, what's going to happen is deductibles are going to rise. I mean, and that's why I'm not so worried about the deductible bill, because I think deductibles are going to get so high, there's going to be nobody that could afford to waive a deductible.
No. I don't know how they do it now.
Right. It's insane. It's crazy. So you've got all of that taking place, but we have to have some sort of regulation. Now, when the RCAT license started, it was like a certificate at first. The word license didn't change until later. And right now there's a misconception. This is a voluntary license,
right,
that the Roofing Contractors Association of Texas offers to people who want to learn, grow, and know, and become a reputable person in the industry, so that homeowners and business owners can trust somebody. So they have somebody to go to say, hey, this person has had some training and has to have continuing education hours to maintain this license to get it. But it is a voluntary license because there's no licensing in our state. So what RCAT wanted, we want to put forth a license for the state to regulate our state a little bit in order to protect homeowners and business owners so that you've got peace of mind to know that the person on your roof knows what they're doing. Now,
And it's not huge. It's not some big, huge thing. It really isn't. And I'm going to interject.
no, please.
I just got my license about 2 or 3 years ago because I thought I need to do that. And the numbers are sequential.
Mhm.
For the state of Texas, my number was 540.
Good for you.
Yeah. But I go 540. I'm not in the 10 or 100,000. 500. There's not that many guys licensed because it's volunteer. I don't even, the guys that are, I call them lone wolves, which is how I started, just doing it by myself. They might not even know about it. They might not even know it exists.
Well, and how many roofers are there in Texas?
Lots.
That's what's so sad. You know what? I can tell you how many hairdressers there are. I can tell you how many dentists there are. I can tell you, like, what industry can you not say? I can tell you how many there are of this, but nobody can tell you how many roofers there are because we have no registration, no licensing, therefore no way to capture the amount of people in our industry. And let me tell you where that breaks my heart. We've had manufacturers before that maybe produced something that was faulty, that wasn't going to hold water the way it's supposed to, wasn't going to repel water the way it was supposed to, whatever it was, or maybe over time it couldn't live up to its warranty. We have no way to go back to those customers who purchased that to say, please go back to your homeowners, please go back to your building owners. We put this on and we need to take care of it. And it's sad to me. Like, you put in a pacemaker and the pacemaker goes wrong, there's a way to go back and track which people got the pacemaker to say, come back in for your health so that we can change out this pacemaker. We have no way to do that in this industry. Yeah. There's no way to monitor who put what roof on, when they put this roof on, because there's nothing, it's a Wild West.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's sad for our industry because you do have people that are coming in that aren't reputable, that aren't morally ethical to do this right.
And the draw is, this is a very profitable business. I mean, I'm learning as we're trying to scale more, you really have to learn how to run a business. But I'll be very honest. The reason I got more into roofing is that I was buying residential properties and fixing them up and reselling them, and doing a lot of that, and then doing some remodeling from that. And then I had a friend of mine who was doing roofing, and he told me how much volume he did in a month. And I thought, he's lying. He can't do that much. And then he showed me all the jobs he's going, and I thought, wow, you can do, because here's the way, and he was just doing residential, especially when you're doing re-roofing, you got to be concerned about the weather. And it could rain anytime in Texas. And I've had my problems of getting rain in a property that the storm came up.
Who hasn't?
Yeah. And so you've got bigger crews, you get it off and on really fast, and it's not an inexpensive product. So there's the money part. And I think that's what draws every guy in. And if you tell a bunch of people, you can make a lot of money on a job, and you can do the job in a day, and you don't have to have a license, and you don't really even know what you're doing because I mean, let's be honest, that most of the crews are subcontracted crews. There are plenty of and more commercial contractors who have their own crews that are employees, but they're a sub, so you don't have to keep guys on the payroll forever. You just say, okay, go make me a bunch of money today, and they go do it, and you're done.
Yeah.
But that also attracts guys you really don't want doing it. So,
well, and they have no skin in the game. The other thing that just drives me insane is you don't know if they're carrying liability insurance. You don't know, and workers' comp is not required in Texas, so you don't even know if they have workers' comp.
Oh, right.
So the moment if you hire somebody to do your roof and that person doesn't have workers' comp and an employee falls off or the crew falls off, whatever, the subcontractor falls off, they can come back and sue the owner of that building. God,
Yeah.
people don't know this.
No, there's a lot of risk.
There's a lot of risk involved. And there's, everybody has to start somewhere. And I want to make sure, because sometimes I think my message goes across wrong that, like, you're clearly you're a contractor. You're a contractor. I can tell you're a contractor. You speak like a contractor. You look like a contractor. Your building says contractor. You are brick and mortar. You're a reputable contractor.
You can find me if you have to find me to get mad at me.
Yes.
I know.
But my message sometimes is received wrong. And then I'm not saying you can't start your roofing company out of your garage, because everybody has to start somewhere.
Most of us did.
And exactly.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's what America's about, is free enterprise and small business. But people need to look into who they're hiring and find out, is this somebody that's growing? And I would say call up the owner of the company. Call up the owner. How long have you been around? Well, we've just been around a year. Well, okay. Well, what got you in this business? Is this what you intend to do forever? What classes have you had? What are you learning? How are you learning? Do you carry liability insurance? Are you carrying workers' comp on your guys? All of that is so important. And it's okay whether you're hiring somebody that's been in this business 6 months or 60 years. And I say that as somebody who's been doing this for 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to call that other person, because everybody needs a chance to start somewhere. But let's make sure that they have the foundation behind them to do and support what you need them to do.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to go to a new doctor, but does he have the mentorees above him? And is there a mentorship going on that if he runs into a problem when he's working on me, that he's got somebody to call on?
Yeah. I'm going to say to our audience, do not be afraid to question anybody who comes over to do anything of any trade on your property, because, and I'll say electrical, plumbing, air conditioning, and roofing are the four that are life. They touch your life. I mean, your sheetrock, I'm not sure as much your carpet, but those things have to do with our health and our well-being. And don't be afraid to quiz someone, because the other thing is, we talk about it all the time. The lone wolves, or the guys that maybe shouldn't be in it, are super nice guys. They come across great. When they start pressuring you to do something, don't feel like you have to do it. Because I've had, especially women, I've had a lot of women say, man, I was getting scared. I'm in my house with this guy and he's telling me I've got to buy this roof or whatever's going to happen. And, that just makes my blood boil. But they're nice guys, and they're in the house because they're really nice. But I don't know what they're peddling sometimes.
Exactly. Do your research. Know who's in your house. I would say never sign anything right away.
Yeah.
If you don't have a contractor there that right away could say, do you need time to look at this over? You should be allowed the time to look something over. Make sure there's nothing in there that says we're waiving your deductible. That's against the law.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Look through that contract. Have a friend look through it. It's just, people are going out there. I'm embarrassed. I have friends that have sent me contracts that I look at and go, everything about this is wrong. And then I'm calling on attorney friends to go, can you get them out of this contract?
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, I absolutely can, because this is illegal wording in this contract. You can't waive a deductible.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is. And then, you finally cease and desist, and it's just because they're just out there doing nothing.
So back to just anything else that the RCAT does, because, no, we're on what the RCAT is about. I think basically, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's to, I think, increase the is professionality, is that a word? The
Professionalism.
professionalism of the industry to, to say, hey, we are professional tradespeople, and, we need to be respected, and y'all are kind of looking out for the general interest of a pretty big state. I mean,
We are.
And how do y'all handle that? I mean,
Well,
because there's really a lot of other NTRCAs or West Texas. There's
yes,
other.
there's HARCA. That's the
Is that Houston?
Houston.
Okay.
There's CTRCA, Central Texas. There's the Amarillo, Lubbock. There's 5. I believe there's 5. So
Okay.
you're going to be mad at me.
Well, I didn't know. Yeah.
There's 5 different chapters within the association, but so we're looking out for everybody throughout all of Texas. I do want to say one of the things we're going to do that I want to make sure that people are aware of that's coming up is, so this year we got our bill, House Bill 3344. It made it out of the House and it was supposed to move forward, but it got stuck in calendar committee.
Okay.
So will the bill come again in 2 years? We sure do hope so. I don't know if Representative Curry will still be the one to carry it, or if there'll be somebody else that chooses to carry it. If it'll start in the House or in the Senate, I'm not really sure how that will pan out. Mike Adkinson, down from the Houston area, he is the president for that year. So after me comes Craig Rainey at Supreme, and then after Craig,
Craig's the president next year. Oh,
come September, I give up my reign. I'm so sad.
September.
Well, technically,
Wow.
I guess it's November, but I passed the gavel to Craig at the 50th anniversary of RCAT, our trade show down at the Kalahari in Round Rock.
Okay.
We have a golf tournament on September 17th, and then the 18th and 19th is our trade show. But I passed the gavel to Craig then, and I'm just going to be so sad. I'm going to have to do my pageant ways again. But because
Have Craig do that too. I'd love to get a picture of him doing a pageant
I
wave.
can actually see that. I can see that.
He would do it. He'd play along.
He would play along. He's going to get me for that. I wonder if he'd give me a crown and banner. It'd be so fun.
Gosh,
But,
Craig, you got to do it.
But we've got lots of things going on. Of course, you've got all your chapter lunch and learns that happen monthly. So that's fantastic. But people should join RCAT because you get access to so many different resources. And you get to meet so many different fantastic contractors like yourself that I'm just excited to meet and be with today. I can't tell you. I don't know, there's something joyful in my heart to meet people and hang out with people and just to find out there are just so many good people in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
But back to the House bill. So my point of that, what I really wanted people to know, I got sidetracked there, is we're going to be having upcoming kind of town hall meetings to explain what the bill is and what the bill is not.
Town hall meetings with roofers or with general public, or
with really probably anybody that wants to come, but primarily the roofing. We need to come forth in 2 years united as, yes, we want licensing. Yes, we want to regulate, because it's hard for people to say, I want to regulate myself.
Yeah.
And lots of, there's rumors out there, well, they want to put constrictions on us, or they're in the insurance pockets, or none of that is true. None of that is true. We want to make our industry better together.
Right.
That's the bottom line. And so we want to have some meetings so people can ask the tough questions. For example, this year, our bill didn't include new construction. Well, there was why doesn't the bill talk about new construction? Why is it only re-roofs? There was a misconception that you had to be in business 10 years before you could be licensed. That doesn't exist. That's not on.
Yeah, I never saw that.
That's not there. That's an old bill. But there was
it was there at one time, but it's not there anymore.
It's not in the new bill.
Okay, got it.
There's so many things that were in the old bill that aren't in the new bill that we're proposing.
Got it.
You can find all this stuff out just by putting in House Bill 3344. Go to RCAT. We've got links on our website that talk about House Bill 3344. Ask the questions. What is this bill? What isn't this bill? But we're going to start to have some statewide meetings to really build a greater knowledge. When this came forward this year, it kind of came really as a big surprise that we had somebody that was going to carry a House bill in licensing.
Yeah.
And so when that happened, we were like, oh, hold on, we want on board with you. And so it all kind of happened just very quickly. So we didn't have time to build the camaraderie of what we needed in our industry.
Yeah.
And so now that we know we have 2 years to really build, really educate, We want to educate our industry.
So it's still alive. It's just going to sit there until the next session.
Can't say it's alive because it got stuck in calendar committee. So it's kind of like you got to start back from the beginning, but it's alive in the fact that it made it out of the House. The House supported this enough to say, let's bring this over to the other side and see if they support it. And that's when, if they had supported it, it would have gone to Governor Abbott.
Okay. So it's grown a little bit. It's not,
Yes.
Okay.
I want people to know their representatives. Do you know who your representative is?
Raphael and Chia,
Wow.
I think.
I was quizzing you, but that was really good
I
if it
think it
is.
is.
If it's right. 2 thumbs up for you. Know your representatives, because we want to be working with them. We want to be visiting those offices. We want to be letting them know, hey, I'm a roofer. We need some help. And that help means we need some licensing done. We need some regulations in place of what this looks like in order to make sure that we're protecting consumers.
Right.
This is a consumer bill.
It is. Yeah.
And we have to do something to get this thing passed, or it's going to get worse. And as it gets worse, I'm telling you, deductibles are going to rise. Premiums are going to go higher. It's going to be.
That's not stopping no matter we get licensed or not.
No.
That I think that's going.
I have faith in our industry. If we can work together, that we can stop some of that, because right now I think insurance companies are so fearful that roofers aren't moral and ethical. I'm not saying they all are. And you've got your immoral and unethical carriers just as well. That's our world we live in.
Yeah.
But I really think we need to come to some common ground together with carriers and roofers to work together.
Okay, so the meetings you're going to have, how would the town halls?
Call them town hall meetings.
Okay, town halls. How would somebody find out about that?
Well, first and foremost, follow RCAT. Follow RCAT.
Is it just RCAT.com?
So you'll go to Roofing Contractors Association of Texas on Facebook, go to it on Instagram, go to it on LinkedIn. I don't know if we have a YouTube channel. I should know that.
Yeah.
We probably do.
Okay.
But follow it. But yes, RCAT, is it RCAT.com or .net?
I don't know. Okay, y'all look it up.
Roofing Contractors Association of Texas.
It'll come up.
It'll come up.
Okay.
But follow that website.
And you'll have some directions on.
But if you're a roofer, join.
Yes.
Get involved and join. Even if you just want to join the first year, join so you get the newsletter.
Right.
Get the newsletter, get the information, get involved in your local chapters. Join North Texas.
Right.
Because we talk, like in our RCAT meetings, the North Texas president is there to give us a North Texas update of what's going on, and vice versa, so that in your meetings, you're giving RCAT updates.
Yes.
Got to work together here.
Yes. And so what's another benefit, I know, with being a member? So you guys get to be a member, RCAT.net.
Is it .net?
Yay. Thank you, Chase. Of what are the other benefits? You join RCAT?
But besides the opportunity for education, besides the opportunity for network, besides the opportunity for...
In education, there's a conference.
There's our big conference, which is coming up in September, as I mentioned. So there's the conferences every year. There's just training online. There's online training you can go to. We have a library of resources available for people.
Guys, y'all need to take advantage of this stuff.
Yes, if they want to know about things. It's endless. But I have to tell you also, again, coming back to networking, the friendships that are built. I already have a feeling, you're not my best friend yet, but I have a feeling that this friendship is not over. This networking is not over, that there's a lifeline and a lifetime of just knowledge and growing one another and learning from each other. And everybody has something to bring to the table. So I think that, if you're not a member of RCAT, you've got something to offer us, and I can guarantee it, we have something to offer you.
I don't know what other industries are like, because I've never been in another one, because I got into this one a long time ago. But hopefully everybody's like this. But if you go to an award ceremony for the NTRCA or something with RCAT, believe me, there's going to be tears in some of the awards that get presented, in the people that are honored. It's I'm not going to say it's a family, but it's pretty close. There are some deep, deep, great relationships. And I would say in an industry that when you look at trustworthiness is way, way at the bottom. Within the family of the roofing industry, there's a lot of trust and a lot of support.
Yes. And it is. It's every chapter is a family. And then RCAT is a family. And you talk about tears. I remember when my dad won the Industry Leader Award for NTRCA. And I hadn't really been involved in NTRCA to attend a whole lot of meetings. So I didn't know a lot of people. I knew a few, but not a lot. But it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, I'm going to go for this for my dad. And how do I pull this off? Because he doesn't know what he's getting. And he hadn't been involved in a while because he had been busy. And so they'd called to say, hey, we're going to honor him with this industry leader. Can you be there? And I was like, yes. And so I brought some of the guys. I brought some of my guys because I was like, I don't have anybody to sit with. Let's get a table and let's sit with people. But I remember walking in and going, I'm not going to know anybody and nobody's going to talk to me. And I'm going to be by myself. And my dad's going to be talking to people he knows. And those are going to be old people. No offense. Like, those are going to be older people. Yeah. But, you know, I love older people. There's so much wisdom there. But I was so scared to attend this award ceremony and thinking I'm going to be all alone. And so I remember I wasn't there 5 minutes before somebody I didn't know was over there going, I don't know you. I'm Susan. Da, da, da. I don't know you. I'm Mark. I don't know you. And it was just like people were coming to me to welcome me to the awards ceremony. And
that's
all
awesome.
All of that was gone. It was all gone. All that fear that I had to attend something by myself just went away. People immediately approached me. We immediately had things in common. And I immediately had a network of new people to talk to.
I have noticed that there isn't a great deal of pretentiousness in the roofing industry. I think everybody is so themselves and
genuine and down to earth.
They just are.
Yes.
And there is nothing more attractive than that. That just, here's me, and I'm not going to pretend to be.
No, I have not met anybody that isn't sincere and genuine. And again, we got to get out there to show that our industry does have integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Coming back to what you said, we have integrity. You just got to find the right people. And that's what's great about joining NTRCA, about joining RCAT, is we've done our homework. So when you join RCAT, there are people. It's like little sleuths. We're on your website to make sure that you haven't promised to waive deductibles. Mm-hmm. We're on there to make sure we look through that stuff. And you have to have a sponsor, a contractor sponsor, and you have to have, a manufacturer sponsor. So you've got to have people that have some history and some connections with other people. And so these are good people in our associations. And it's good for homeowners and business owners to go, are you a member of RCAT? Are you a member of NTRCA? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, we know a little bit of homework's been done at least. Mm-hmm. And that's a comforting feeling to people.
Yeah. Okay, Jeannie, I think we've covered a lot about roofing and about building Dallas and about just building and stuff. And with all the things that you've got going on and 2 children, husband, you're a CEO and you're the head of RCAT, how does Jeannie Curtis handle life outside of work?
Ooh.
Are you a workaholic or what?
No.
Or am I getting into shouldn't ask that.
I'm not a workaholic. I'm a peopleholic. I find what feeds me. Now, I'm not saying I always have to be with people, but I love people. I loved this.
Me too. I got to have some downtime. I think everybody does.
Yes.
Yeah.
My downtime is I wake up early. I always do my yoga. I always, write in my journal. I try to always do my Bible study. I keep that morning routine as best I can because I think it's your mornings that launch you and get you started. Now, I'm blessed now because I do have more time in the morning. I'm not out there running crews. I don't have to be at the office at 6 to get my crews going.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Owners, remember what your people that are running your crews give up to be there at those hours.
Yes.
Remember what your crew gives up to be up at those hours. So find a time what feeds them and what replenishes them. I love to travel, but I'm one of those weird people. I don't love to travel to just go vacation. I like to travel to attend conferences and trade shows. I like to travel to, again,
Traveling with a purpose.
traveling with a purpose. I love that. I want to travel with a purpose. I have a beautiful home. I live out in Burleson. I have an amazing backyard. I'm a gardener, so I have a greenhouse.
Does Kelly Clarkson live next door to you?
She used to live behind me.
No, you're kidding.
Not kidding.
Oh,
Not kidding.
give me a break.
Not kidding.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I'm serious. It's funny that you should say that. It has been decades and decades. I can't believe you remember that.
Oh my gosh.
And I never met her. I wasn't living there at the time, but when we bought this property, it was like, Kelly Clarkson used to live. I'm like, wow, that's so cool.
Okay, that's nice to know.
But yeah, but I'm a gardener. So I like to have my hands in the dirt and grow things. I have this beautiful greenhouse. So a vacation to me, I have everything at my house that I could possibly need at a vacation, except maybe a cabana boy.
Okay. Okay.
But I don't don't have any offers. I mean, anybody offering to be my cabana boy.
All right, here we go.
If I had that, I would never need to take
All
it.
right, there you go.
Because I love the sun. I love vitamin D. I love laying out. I love all that. Except I have learned don't lay out on a TPO roof or a hypalon roof.
Oh,
That
God.
was my first sunburn of my life. So,
all over. Oh my God. If people don't know this, here, if you see a guy out and he's doing a TPO, it's a white roof. It's white. It's like you're out in the snow. And so if you've ever been skiing and you'll see guys and it's 108 degrees and they're up on the roof and they've got a mask on and they've got stuff up their neck. They got long sleeve, long pants, and everything. You're thinking, how do they do that? No, that's the only way to survive, because doing that day in and day out, you get burned up under your nose, up under your chin, at places you go, I don't want to get burned there.
I know it. No, I was 13 years old. My dad and he had a patio outside of their master bedroom. And so my dad and I installed a hypalon roof outside of this patio. And so I was like, that looks like a fantastic place to lay out, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's like laying in the thing that you put under your face to get everywhere. You're
Third-degree burns. I have freckle marks at my dermatologist. I'm like, I know that's from that hypalon roof time back when I was 13.
God.
So yeah, don't do it. But no, I love, I enjoy the sun. I love the sun. And people are what give me energy to get to the next day.
Yeah.
Good quality people that you network with, that you learn from. I love to learn. I'm a giant Audible reader. So
okay.
My younger child is dyslexic. And so he has to Audible everything. And so I got hooked on Audible books. And so now I'm that person. I probably do an Audible. Well, I read at least a book a week, at least minimum.
Okay. What do you read?
Because I Audible. Oh, my father's very disturbed by this. My father, this is frightening. I love those murder mystery. Right now I'm into everything McFadden. She writes this whole series of murder mystery stuff. I love that stuff. I always wound up, somebody's given me a nonfiction. I have to tell you, can I tell you a God thing?
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Sure.
I just posted this.
Oh
today.
gosh.
I
love it.
My cousin had taught me this, is it odd or is it God? And that really nothing happens in life that's odd. It's all God. And so my brother-in-law,
love that,
about a month ago, had sent me a book called Practicing His Way. Is that the right name? Oh, Practicing the Way. Practicing the Way.
Okay.
Corin, I believe, is the author of it. And so he sent it to me, and he was like, hey, I think you guys would enjoy this book and read this book. And my husband hates to read. Like, he's not going to read.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'll see if it's on Audible.
Read it to him.
If it's on Audible, I'll listen to it, And so it was on Audible, but I put it to the side because, again, I refresh and decompress with nonfiction.
Yeah.
The murder mystery, who's killing who, putting acid into buckets. And I'm just crazy.
Yeah.
But so anyway,
fun.
I love that stuff. So I put it aside and didn't read it. Well, I was on a plane to Vail because we had our board of directors annual retreat meeting for RCAT in Vail last week. And the woman on the plane next to me is reading the book that my brother-in-law had sent.
Okay.
And I said, okay, is this a God thing? I said, can you tell me, is that book any good? My brother-in-law sent it to me. And she goes, you have to read this book. This book is fantastic. You ought to read it. I'm like, okay, this is a God thing. I've got to
Yeah.
read this book. Well, then it just became a relationship thing because she and I started talking and we have just similar things going on in our lives. Our kids are the same age. It was just this moment that I had with her. Her husband was headed to a golf tournament. My younger son, Cooper Curtis, he is a big golfer. In fact, he's scratched now. He's a fantastic golfer at
Wow. 15.
almost 15, not even 15 yet.
That's awesome.
He's great. He can
Yeah.
he can hit the ball at easily 300 yards every time. I mean, and beyond. But I don't want to brag too much because he's going to go, Mom, that wasn't right. So
Okay.
I got it. But yeah, follow him on Instagram. He's got a beautiful swing. He'll be a fantastic golfer down the road. I'm shooting for that D1 UT.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's go.
Yes.
University of Texas, Cooper Curtis.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm like, I got to read this book. So I go to this book and I start to audible this book while I'm in Vail. And it's all about how something is shaping you in your life, regardless of whether it's conscious or unconscious. There's something shaping you. What is it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it God? Is it Jesus? Or are you allowing other things and other people in your life to interfere and unconsciously shape you?
Mm-hmm.
And so it comes back to whatever you do it with purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Know what you're doing, know why you're doing it. Just like coming over here, I had a purpose, and my purpose was to meet you, to get to know you, and hopefully to form a relationship with somebody new in my industry where we could grow and learn together.
Yeah.
Do things with purpose
Mm.
and integrity. But it's a great book. I love it. But anyway, reading is my other thing. I love to ear. It's so back to why he's dyslexic. Ear reading and eye reading is a thing. And so I ear read everything. And so when I use the word reading, people always assume I have a book out. No.
Yeah.
So in the dyslexic world, you call it ear reading and eye reading.
Okay.
And so I can eye read, but I prefer to ear read. And so, or you do both.
Yeah.
Depending,
Yeah, I didn't know that.
ear reading and eye reading. It's a real thing.
Okay.
Ear read.
Okay. Practicing the Way by John Mark
Thank you.
Comer.
Yes. Cool.
Right? Okay. Got it. So Jeannie, we've talked about this being a legacy business and your grandfather starting it, but I'm sure there's a lot of things that Boyd Ruffin was doing that you learned from, but then as it transferred to you, you made it your own. So maybe talk a little bit about what you gained and then what you brought to it in your own personality.
Okay. Wow. That's a tough question. Oh, but a good one. So I've been really, really fortunate because my father is still working. Here he is, not quite 80. He's not 80 yet. I think he's 78,
Okay.
right around there. And he's still climbing roofs. Like, he's out there.
How good for him.
He's got his own ladder going. He didn't even need ladder assist half the time, but I demand ladder assist goes with
Yeah.
him. It's like, Dad, come on. It's 106
Yeah.
degrees out there. But he can still climb a roof. He's amazing. One of the big things I would say, if you're coming in to the industry and you are legacy, is remember that just like in every association, every business, there is so much wisdom to be gained by those people.
Right. Listen to them.
Yes. And it's so easy to come in. Like, it was so easy for me to come. I guess I've been with Boyd not quite 15 years yet, but, full time.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so easy to come in and see all the things that were wrong.
Okay.
And go, this is disorganized. Like, what in the world is happening here? Didn't like the way that part of my mid-management major is organizational structure. And so the organizational structure of it didn't meet what I needed it to meet. And so I'm like, Dad, why do you do this way? Why is this way? So I got to a point, and I love this one day it's going to be fantastic, where I will take out my phone and I will press record when I ask him a question, because I want to know why we do things or did things the way they were being done.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, because you come in with all these new ideas and all these things you want to change. And I don't like the way this is done. And I don't like what's happening here. Or why is this person doing that job? I couldn't quite grasp all of that, but we were obviously successful because we're still around.
Yeah.
So he was doing something right. And so just coming in and asking the questions of why you do what you do, the way you do it, and when you do it, learning that before you come in and decide, I'm going to change everything to my way.
Right.
Because things were running smoothly, things were making money. I want to make sure that the changes I make are deliberate. I want to make sure they're purposeful. I want to make sure that they're going to make change that financially benefits the business as a whole.
Right.
And it doesn't box us into something we can't maintain. My mother always says, don't do anything you can't maintain.
Yeah. No,
And so
I like that.
there were things and changes that I wanted to make. And some of it was just superficial. I wanted to redesign the building, but I think the biggest change was moving towards technology.
Oh, yeah.
That's a tricky one. And,
It
when I
is.
came in, we had so many people that had been with my dad for a long time. Our crew some of them have been with my dad for, no joke, 30 years, 35, 40 years.
Wow.
I got guys that are
That's awesome.
in their 70s re-roofing roofs right now today for me
Yes.
that have been there forever. And probably the transition's been harder for them.
Okay.
I work for Gary. Well, no, you really don't. You work for me.
Right.
And I would tell you, having children coming in, I love how my dad has, and he always says, yes, this is my company, but my daughter's taking over. She's really the one in charge.
Yeah.
And that's what he tells everybody. She's really the one in charge. But he also knows that if I have a question, don't know something, I'm still going to lean on him for the wisdom.
Right.
Not saying I'm going to do what he says or what he suggests. Not all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make sure that I have reached out, and I don't do it just out of respect. I do it because it's the wise thing to do.
Yeah.
My dad's always said, seek wise counsel. Have the banker that is wise. Have the attorney that is wise.
Mhm.
Those are your important people. Have those people with the wisdom to lean on that have the business sense. And so he's my person. He's my person I lean on. He's my person to do things. But some of the things we've changed and done, we didn't have an attorney on retainer before. I now have an attorney on retainer. My dad never had that. He had relationships with attorneys he could call, but I put one on retainer.
Yeah.
And that was new, and that was an expense that he wasn't familiar with. Like,
Right.
okay, I can see why you do this, because in past days, you kind of just had a relationship with people, and those were people you called on. So putting somebody on a retainer to do that, but changing software, hey, we're not going to print our photos off. We have, I'm not kidding you, truck containers in our yard filled with boxes and boxes of actual photographs.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. And what we would do, they'd have binders, like 3-ring binders of a job. And you'll open the binder and there'll be a piece of paper and there'll be 10 photos, and they're taped, the 4x6 photos, tape a 4x6, tape a 4x6. And you flip through them like this, and I'm going.
And then if they get hot, they get stuck together.
Yes. And now I'm so old, I don't want to go out there and do it. And so I'm like, okay, who does this for me? Who can I call? Because it's not trash. I want to keep it. It's legacy. Legacy is so important.
Yeah.
But what am I going to, I'm at the point now, I'm like, I'll let my kids take care of it.
What technology they're going to have, they'll take care of that stuff.
Yes. I mean, can we create a machine that just scans the truck container and tells us everything?
Don't you just think, though, I mean, right now, it is the technology, because that's what I've seen personally is, and like your son who's dyslexic, I have some kind of, I get on the computer and I can't see it like I can see it on a piece of paper. I just can't. And my son's laughing at me right now going, boy, I understand that. But you've got to, and that's what I have some great people here that I just lean on, and I just say, I know I may never know how this works, but y'all have to make it work. And I've got to jump in the 21st century. I have to.
You have to, and it's hard, but that was one of the hardest things for my dad to get on board with. Of Dad, this is what we can do now that's so much better. And now, AI scares the bejeebers out of him.
Yeah.
It's like, Jean Marie, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dad, you don't understand what this can do.
Oh gosh, he has a Jean Marie for you.
Oh, I'm Jean Marie. Now let me tell you some funny technology story about my father. Oh my goodness. So I've wanted a Tesla truck for forever.
Okay.
Forever. I just wanted a big cyber beast. I think it'd be cool getting out of a big cyber truck. So about 2 months ago, my dad went and bought a Cybertruck. And I'm thinking, my dad bought me a Cybertruck. I can
Yay!
I'm going to look so cool in my Cybertruck. I'm going to be able to play on my phone while I drive. I mean, this is what I've always wanted, right?
Uh-huh.
Now that you can do that in a Cybertruck, you can't, but that was my goal. And guess how many times I've driven that Cybertruck?
Well, it's yours, right?
Yeah. Guess how many times I've driven it?
Oh, none. I don't know.
0. My dad will not give that Cybertruck up. He loves that thing. Again, I'm calling him 80, he's not 80 yet, but 80-year-old non-technology man. I mean, this is a guy that, his phone password has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And
maybe we'll cut that.
I'll change it when I get back to the office. I'll take it. But I mean, he loves that Cybertruck. He gets in, he presses the address. So if you see a Boyd bone dry, we got our logo on the Cybertruck. You see that going down the road. That's not me. That's my dad, because he loves this Cybertruck. So he's learned technology. He's pretty good at it.
He's learned the boy technology. It's just a bigger toy. I mean, come on.
He loves it though.
Yeah.
He's got Google Drive down now, but paper calendars. Talk about something else. Don't give me that look, please. Don't tell me.
No, at our last board meeting, Tina Hall looked over at me. I pulled out my paper calendar. She goes, "Chris, you got a paper calendar?" I said, "Yes, I do. It works."
Oh,
it's his slingshot too.
getting rid of the paper calendars. That was pulling teeth. I was like, "What are these things?" And there are some things that they won't give up that I just have. I'm like, whatever. Like one is we have a giant paper calendar that some distributor or manufacturer gives us every year. Please don't stop that. But it's there. And we have a girl that writes the weather on every single day.
That's cool.
Everything. So I'm not kidding when I say I probably have 50 years of weather data in paper calendars. And if it's not in our main office, it's in one of those truck things out there. Containers.
I know.
But the legacy part is so important.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give that up, because my granddaddy worked so hard to build and create it. My father's worked so hard at it. It's been his life. And you can't pay for legacy.
Yeah. But it sounds like you've been confident enough to get GoDad. We've got to go do some digital things here.
We've got Java as a CRM we use. Moving to a CRM was another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we're using Google Drive now, getting Google Drive rolling for everybody, getting a domain and getting our website up and rolling, not just having a one-pager thing, but something with a little bit more depth to it.
Mm-hmm.
Social media, that was the one my dad was like, "Oh, heck no, Jeannie, you're not doing that."
Mm-hmm.
Because we've never had a social media presence, but you have to have a social media presence now.
Yeah.
But he was fearful of it and how it can be used against you later.
Oh gosh, that's me too. I'm like, oh, they're gonna have my stuff.
Yes. So
they're gonna send me junk.
Yeah, doing anything in the cloud. The cloud is what do you mean it's in the cloud? Well, who's got control of the cloud?
Yeah, where's that?
What if the cloud crashes? I'm like, the cloud's not going to crash. Well, what if it does?
I know what clouds do. They drop hail balls.
Yeah.
Where's the backup? And backups. We have got hard drives galore, like boxes and boxes of hard drives. I don't even know what's on these hard drives. So getting the technology piece was definitely a challenge.
Yes, I'm trying to get there myself. That's going to be tough. I want to thank Jeanie Boyd Curtis for being here, our RCAT president and CEO of Boyd Roofing, and for just sharing with her how the Boyds for generations and generations have helped protect North Texas and all the way to where was it? Kansas? Kentucky, and protecting the buildings that we live and work and play in for years and years and years. And we love the legacy that Jeannie is carrying on from her grandfather. And we hope you guys tune in next time to Building Dallas.
Thanks for tuning in to Building Dallas, where we bring the stories that shaped North Texas. Subscribe, share, and stay connected. Until next time, keep building. Building Dallas is presented by Arrington Roofing, keeping North Texas covered rain or shine.